Hello, everybody. We are live with NEET Days episode 6. It is April the 16th, and we are back. Just me and Alphonse currently. We actually had a little bit of technical difficulties before this episode. Google actually decided to
Be a real
suspend.
asshole. That's it.
Yeah, be a
That's
real
it. Tell it
asshole.
like it is. I ain't gonna be nice to Google. All right. After all we've been through. All right. Screw Google. Where's my sponsorship money?
They basically decided to suspend our account because we use the name NEET Days instead of an actual name, so I'm gonna have to start using my real name for the Google Plus profile name that's linked into Google Hangouts, and that should take care of that. For right now, we're just using my personal YouTube account for it, so if you want to look through, there's a lot of tohu and porn. So
Yeah, two
here's
great
those two
things.
things. Yeah,
Two great things.
absolutely, absolutely. And one thing that I got to do a lot of this weekend that I'm going to talk about for a bit of time later on is the Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn. I got invited to the beta, and there's a lot of things I'm not supposed to talk about, but there's a lot of things I really want to talk about, so I'm going to find a happy medium because I had a lot of fun in that beta, and I know that us here, we kind of bash on the newer Square Enix, but I want to say that this is probably the best thing that they've done in quite some time. I'm very happy with what's happened, but we'll get more into that later. Um, as usual, currently reading, watching, playing. I guess we can go into the current animes with this. Anime, sorry, for anyone that's a grammar Nazi out there and doesn't like to say the word animes. The anime that we have been watching. Alphonse, why don't you tell us about what you've been watching on Mondays?
I've been watching Mushi Bugyu. It's the new shonen. Pretty awesome so far. If you're a fan of shonen, I would definitely check it out. It is kind of like your stereotypical shonen. You have the main character who Jinbei. He wants to be the best swordsman out there right now. They're in like the Edo period of Japan, and there's part of like the insect magistrate. And what's happening is there's just a bunch of giant bugs that are eating people.
Is that the
And
one that's based off the manga that I see images on A all the time?
yeah, probably.
I know what that is now.
So, what happens is Jinbei's father is like this like really great swordsman, um, but he can't make it to the magistrate because he can't like walk anymore, which they'll say in the first episode. So he goes there so he could take his father's place, and as he gets there, they don't want to take him because obviously he's not his father. He meets a girl there. I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Girl A.
But what's up?
Girl A.
Yeah, girl A. She's got big boobs. You see some cleavage, a little bit of fan service there, I guess. Um, she gets there's a spider attack that goes on. He goes to fight the spider all by himself. She ends up getting captured, and he goes out there and he meets the guy who runs the magistrate. He's not actually the leader because nobody gets to meet the leader. You find that out in episode 2. It's already been out. Um, I think his name is Katori. Yeah. He's so he runs it. He's like, you can't go there. These bugs are way stronger. And he goes in there, not listening. Typical like Naruto or like Luffy, just really headstrong. And he goes and he starts fighting the spider. And as he's fighting him, like a bunch more spiders come down, and he manages to take one out. But then you have these other people come in who are actually part of the magistrate. Um, you have Shingeki, who is covered in scars, and he has like I think 3 swords on him. So right now you don't know why he has all the scars, but he has like a cape, so he looks a lot like Kamina, like he has a flame cape, which is pretty cool. He looks awesome. You have Oharu, who looks like he's like a little boy, and he has like these paper dolls, but he can summon them like a familiar, kind of like I'm trying to think of the girl's name from Blue Exorcist, who had like the fox, and then the other one who had like the plant. So he can summon familiars through there. I don't know if it's just dolls, or what it is. Then there is another one, and I'm trying to think of her name. Oh, Hibachi, and she has bombs, so she's like a master with gunpowder. So the first episode is pretty much them trying to save Girl A, who I can't think of her name. And once that goes down, Jinbei gets saved by like this like really badass person who's part of the magistrate. Um, I think his name is Mugai. Yeah, and he has white hair. He has like the super awesome sword. He doesn't say anything. And then part of the second episode is more of the backstory to Hibachi. So she's like, you get to see like where she came from, why she's so good with gunpowder and stuff. And during that second episode, Jinbei gets told by wow man, I'm so bad with names in like the first couple episodes.
I'm
He
terrible.
gets told he gets told by Katori to not draw a sword because people who join the insect magistrate only last like 10 days before they get killed. So, the second episode's going into the backstories, which I think a lot of the animes that we're watching now, they're going to kind of go into more of the backstories because that first episode kind of catches you and now they have to build up what they're actually trying to show. But,
Yeah, I need that hook with the first episode.
yeah, definitely. The opening music is awesome, though. So, yeah, if you watch it, watch the opening music. It's cool. It's really catchy. But, I mean, that's really the whole thing about Mushibugyo. It's just the magistrate trying to kill these insects because they're eating humans, and where Jinbei comes from, it's a colder climate, so they really don't run into insects much. But the town that they're in, they just like go wild. And the second episode, they fight a dragonfly. The first one, they fight like this giant spider.
Spiders are gross. I hate spiders.
Yeah.
I really hate spiders. But
Wow,
honestly,
spiders.
that sounds pretty cool. I've seen a lot of that actually, the manga on A recently. I was just wondering what it was from, but apparently that's it. Um, on Tuesdays, we're still waiting for someone to start subbing DD Hakuto no Ken, which is the new tribute Fist in Their Star. But it looks like nobody wants to pick that up because no one wants to watch good anime. So we'll go to Wednesday. Wednesday is Red Data Girl Day. I watched that. Second episode this week. A lot more horror elements and some cool like shrine maiden goddesses. So if you're into horror and shrine maiden goddesses, check that out. It is a shoujo, so be warned that it's a shoujo. New Devil Survivor. We both watched that. That comes out on Thursdays. New episode we actually watched together last week after we filmed episode 5. And I was pretty happy with it. Kind of the same as the first episode, not really giving out too many more details on exactly what's going on yet. How'd you feel about it?
Like I said with the Mushibugyo, like a lot of these episodes now are going to go into the background. So now you've learned more of what was going on in their world, and that like those familiars just didn't like pop out of nowhere. Like the Japanese government's known about it for a little bit now. So now it's more of you got to find who's really behind it. I mean, there was still some action, but like I said, for these next couple episodes, I'm not really expecting too much unless you're Shingeki, because like you've been going full force off the rip, which is awesome. But yeah, but so far they've all been pretty good. Even like Gargantua kind of went back. I mean, once we get to it, we'll talk a little bit about it. I talked about this second episode before, but now that you've seen it, we can kind of bounce that off each other.
Yeah.
Literally.
And then, another thing that comes out on Thursdays is only the first episode's out now. Apparently A went crazy over it. I don't know because I wasn't aware of it. But Valvrave.
Oh my god.
The full name of it was, but that was pretty legit. Me and Alphonse both just watched that this morning.
Steak t-shirts. Boom.
Yeah, she had a steak T-shirt, and I don't want to give any spoilers because there's actually some like pretty big spoilers in the first episode, which is
like major. And as far as I know, it's supposed to be 12 episodes, but then you told me that they already planned a second season. So like, who knows how long this is going? But oh my god, like that first episode was like Shingeki worthy, like in a sense. Oh, and watch after the credits. Because John told me major shit happens after the credits. Definitely watch after the credits. Like, The art style is great.
Yeah,
All of
absolutely.
them have pretty. You commented on the girl's eyes. They all have pretty like awesome, vibrant color eyes.
Yeah.
Um, One dude hates halvesies. That's all I'm gonna tell you. You know, he's not in about halvesies. He wants all fullsies. But
He's not willing to
it's
share
cool.
shit.
I was talking to John, and I told him I felt that it was a little Evangelion-esque, and he agreed with me. It's the main character. He doesn't really want fighting. He doesn't really. I don't think he wants anything to do about this life, really. If you know, there's something that drives him to actually fight in the first episode because there's some action, but you'll see it. I don't want to spoil anything, but other than that, he's just kind of like a happy-go-lucky dude. Like even in the beginning, like there's an eating competition. Like yeah, he's doing it, but he didn't want to do it. So in that sense, and the mech almost kind of reminds me of the Type 01. Like they had the short blade on the side and everything too, which
Yeah.
is cool.
Yeah, well, I mean, uh, being relatable to Evangelion is definitely not a bad thing, considering Evangelion is, I think, I want to say it unarguably, the most popular anime of all time around the world. I don't think that's really even debatable at this point in time. Maybe
I
like
mean,
Akira, but Akira is not as popular in Japan as Evangelion is. Akira is more popular in America.
yeah, but even I mean, like, come on, Evangelion has like nightclubs and museums after it. I mean, it's pretty huge.
But
Like,
yeah, so that's definitely Valvrave is definitely an anime you want to watch out for. The full name is Kakumeki Valvrave, and
it's
I'll
something
start
about like
updating.
it's something about the trust though, or like the truth, like because it shows in the title, and then I know 666 is in the title of the next name, so the next name of the next episode, which is pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yeah. Also, I'll start on the Facebook page. I've been trying to update when new animes get released and subbed. So when things get subbed, I post them as a status, along with usually like a funny picture or something like that. So I'll start updating with this one too. Now on Friday, unfortunately, guys, I didn't watch Aku no Hana. Um,
Was it the pictures? Did the art style finally get to you?
no, man, the art style is so good. It's the best art style ever in an anime. All right,
Can
even outside of anime, it's the best. If you
can
don't
you
like
see?
it, you're just not pretentious enough.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
not
sorry.
smart enough if you don't like it.
I'm not about the amateur hour life.
I'm not trying to watch little girl cartoons.
Can you see comments on our show right now off your
No.
page? Because I can't. But I think Ant gave us a shout out on the comments, so I want to give Ant a shout out. Thanks for watching, bro. Really appreciate it. But yeah, Akuno Hana gets Trevor 1.
Trevor will never win. You know what? Just because of that, I'm gonna watch it right after the show.
Yeah,
And
tell us, tell us about it on Thursday.
I'm gonna write an 8-page paper on it. It says comment removed, author withheld, so I don't know what that means. But now I see it. Okay, I see you now.
So are we about to talk about Shingeki right now, or do we have to go to Gargantua?
Um, First up, let's do Date Alive. Date Alive,
I
I
did too.
watched the first episode, and I kind of breezed through the second episode because I just didn't have my interest in the second episode, unfortunately. And I thought about it after watching it, and I thought maybe I just went into it with the expectation of like a great story or something like that, when it's actually just supposed to be a comedy about a military visual novel. Like, not even really a visual novel, more of a hentai game. Like, the anime would probably make a great hentai game, because essentially it's about a dude that is going to try to get the opposing army to fall in love with him at this point in the anime. And I mean, yeah, it sounds like crap, but like it's okay if like you want to watch it for comedy. I personally am not really feeling it at this point, and I'm pretty sure that no one else is either, because I'm almost positive that no one subbed the third episode. So I'm assuming whoever was subbing it before, which I think was horrible subs, I'm pretty sure that they dropped it as well, which definitely is a good sign. At all. Yeah, I still don't see episode 3 being subbed anywhere, so that anime might just be completely done for this season. Um, what else? Okay, next, Alphonse, tell me about Shingeki.
Oh man. So the second episode picks up right where the first one left off. Yeah, the Giants breaking through, just causing havoc. They start destroying houses, and the way they have the town, I don't know if we talked about this when it first came out, but there are three walls. So as they broke through the first one, they kind of have like it just bottlenecks to go through the other wall. So they have cannons and they're trying to shoot down the Titans, and they're trying to evacuate and go to the river because they have like this canal, like the ship system, and like it is packed and people are trying to like jump on it as boats are leaving. Everybody's scared. Everybody thinks that like this is it. They're all gonna die. Um, so as that's going, the main Titan, I don't remember his name, but I know you brought it up on one of the pictures, but they didn't actually show it on my subs on
Yeah, you
either
didn't do it
episode.
for me either, but apparently one of the subgroups messed up with the translation of what he wasn't actually a Titan, he was something else, and like obviously that's kind of important to the story.
Yeah, his name was like Etnori or Itanori or something. I think it was something with an E. But anyway, he just like lowers his shoulder and just sprints, puts his shoulder down and destroys like that second wall. Well, I guess you can call it the first. I don't know, because he brought the outer wall. Now he's going into like that whole second side of the state or country or whatever you want to call it, their town.
Yeah.
He just straight demolishes it in like one sprint, and it's awesome. And now these people are getting away, and they're going to this other town. After a lot of that stuff goes on, and they make it to this other town, they go through a couple like time warps where it's like a month faster and stuff. When they make it to that new town, um, obviously a lot of people are upset with the people who just came in from, I think the wall's called the Maria or something.
Yeah, that was the second
Yeah,
wall, I believe.
they're upset because now the Titans came in and now they're all into their town and they're already short on food. So there's giant food lines, and one of the authorities is like pissed off, saying that the Titans should have ate all of them. So the main character goes pretty insane and gets in his face, which is really awesome. And so it kind of slows down halfway through the second episode, and they start talking, and you find out that they're going out to rebuild the wall, and they take a lot of like the people who first came over from the Maria being broken down. So when they went out there, I think there was some crazy number. It was like 25,000 or 2,500 or
No, I think it was 250,000.
250,000 like people that went out. I think it was to rebuild the wall and to get food, right? Like because of the food shortage. And I think
Yeah.
something like 70% of them died out there. Like they obviously didn't show it, but it was pretty crazy. And then they time warp in the 3 years, I believe it is, and all the main characters actually decided to sign up for the military. So, from what Trevor told me, because I believe he read the manga or is current with it, or however far he is, the next couple episodes should be really awesome. So I think we're like gonna really start seeing some giant killing soon.
Yeah, I'm assuming that the last two episodes are basically the prequel and the real story starts right now.
Yeah, but way to open up with a prequel. That's
Yeah,
all I'm saying.
that was definitely awesome. I want to say and go ahead and give that my vote for what's going to right now. My prediction for what will be anime of the season. And um, last thing to talk about is Gargantia. We both watched this as well. This is the one by Generabuchi, and Alphonse actually watched both episodes before the last episode of NEET Days. I just caught up with it today, and so far I'm pretty happy with it. I like that we got to see the main character do some fighting and stuff like that. But I don't want to go getting too much into it just because we already kind of covered it. Next episode will be out on Sunday, so like us on the Facebook, and I will let you know when that is subbed as soon as it is subbed, as long as I'm not like.
Yeah, it was pretty weird because the second episode came out like super fast, the only reason why I caught it was I was on the anime subreddit and there was discussion for it already, and it was weird. So I clicked it and I didn't want to spoil anything for myself,
Hmm.
but the person who started it was like, yeah, this episode came out really fast. I thought like that it was really weird that I seen it and stuff, and then I searched for it and it was actually the day that I actually went to watch the first episode too, and I realized I downloaded two of episode two instead of one of episode one episode two. But yeah.
Yeah, maybe they did like a double release or something like that because they aren't on episode 3 yet. It's still episode 2, so it's like they released 2 and then took a week off or something like that.
How do you feel about how strong he is, though?
I think it's interesting because I think that given his strength, technically they would be able to use him to like completely take over the world, the Earth itself right now.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that what happened was the hole that he got sucked through basically sent him, I want to say back in time, or maybe even forward in time to the Earth, because I feel like he's on a separate timeline now.
possibly. Yeah, it's weird. Like they fought pirates and he pretty much wiped them out in like 2 seconds, like targeting. And I mean, it's cool in a way, but I definitely want to see him go through like some crazy battles. Like I'm not all about people who are like super OP, even though like I like Kenshiro, but like even he has his moments where he just like has to kind of overcome a little something before he get it
Yeah.
going.
Well, I mean, usually when they want to show a character that's really strong, they always show them just like 1v like 25 in at first, and like, oh my god, they're so strong, and then that kind of builds up to the first like main bad guy and actually gives them like credit for actually being strong or something
I,
like
I
that.
I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm thinking like because the Gargantua, how it's like that big barge, and like they were talking about others and pirates. I'm thinking that like somehow there's gonna be other stray people like Red that's down there, and he's
Yeah.
gonna like have to fight them because like pirates are either getting hold of the technology or like whoever was in the suit, if they're still alive, they want to side with the pirates. But I mean, who
It's
knows?
Zerabushi, so it could literally go anywhere. Like, even in the episode, they said how years ago the world Earth itself was covered in ice, and then it melted, but there's no land anymore. And according to Red or whatever you want to call him, he has another name too that they call him.
I think it's like Leto or something, which is the actual name or something.
Yeah, according to his intelligence, Earth was still like ice. So for all we know, it could be like an artificial sun or something like that, or someone that's like trying to control the Earth right now. But I mean, we can go on about theories all day. We have no clue what's going to happen with it yet. But I'm just hoping it stays strong, and I hope there's some Urabuchi tragedy in it.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I'm not ready to give up on it yet at all. We keep it going. Actually, all the animes that I started watching this season are all pretty good. I think I'm gonna end up watching them all and keeping them all.
Yeah, the only two that I'm indifferent about are obviously Aku no Hana and Date Alive. I
Because
actually,
it sounds too good.
I may, I may decide to start dropping some, just because keeping up with 8, including Aku no Hana, is a bit much right now. But we'll see what happens. Now, what time is it? Why don't you talk about one of the topics that you posted here?
So, Capcom, I know you're a big fight fan. I don't know if we should wait for everybody else, but we could probably talk to them on Thursday too on their feelings. They did you play the new Mortal Kombat at all?
No, I didn't play in Mortal Kombat. I don't really like Mortal Kombat that much, to be
The
honest.
new Mortal Kombat had like a pretty awesome story that like tied everything together. Not everything, but like they had like a whole base story that you like fought through. And Capcom is talking about doing the same thing with Street Fighter,
Yeah.
which I think would be pretty awesome. I know that like a lot of people play Street Fighter competitively and online. It's a huge deal.
Yep.
But even so, to even have like a story mode to tie together, like why Ryu is just going around fighting, or like or like Guile, like what they're fighting for at this particular like tournament or whatever it is.
Have you ever seen the Street Fighter 2 movie?
The movie, no, I remember watching like the anime or like cartoon,
Yeah, talking
whatever
about
it
the
was.
anime. Chun-Li has a naked shower scene.
There was another one when we were kids though. Like there was a Street Fighter anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
because I remember like Vega was like fighting with Ryu or something like that. I don't remember it much because I only caught it a couple times when I was a kid.
Yeah.
But no, I never seen that one. Naked Chun-Li scene. I'm gonna have to mark it down. Where's my pen? But
But yeah,
yeah,
that's definitely something. Because fighting games kind of always lacked in stories. They always kind of built the game around multiplayer, literally, to the point where the single player would literally just be you in arcade mode fighting all of the other opponents, and then the game was over, and like maybe you got some kind of like CG or some kind of like short ending story or something like that. Now, another game that I'd like to bring up that does a great story mode, like definitely, I want to say I haven't played Mortal Kombat, but I want to say definitely the best story mode out of any fighter ever is Persona 4 Arena. Persona 4 Arena has over, I think, 40 hours of story mode, and it's actually all canon with the Persona 3 and 4 story, and it ties them together, and it basically gives you a lead up to what will hopefully be Persona 5.
that's pretty cool because I even know that Persona 4 has a couple. I think it has a two-part like movie or something I've seen before on Blu-ray when
Yep,
I was browsing
there's an anime, and then there's a
Amazon.
movie.
But the corporate officer, senior vice president at Capcom, he said the strategic marketing group here has for quite a while been pushing for fighting franchises to have more and better single player content, of which full-fledged story modes are one component. The cool thing is, I don't know how much Twisted Metal you've played, or if you've ever played Twisted Metal Black,
I
but
played every Twisted Metal but Twisted Metal Black. Wait, no, I played. Was that one on PS3?
PS2.
Alright, yeah, I didn't play Black.
Black was cool. When you picked your driver, you got like your background of the driver and why he's at this race. Because I think in that one, if you won the Twisted Metal tournament, you got like your wish.
Mhm.
So you found out like some people had some crazy stuff done to him. Like I remember one of them. This guy was a boxer, and I guess the doctor who was patching him up after like his fight had bet on him to win, and he had lost. So like the doctor like messed up his face and like did some crazy shit to him. So like at the end, like if you win the game as him, the end story is you get revenge on the doctor. So it's pretty cool because you've seen like a story on a game like that. So even like doing something like that with Street Fighter would be pretty cool.
What was the newest Twisted Metal where it has that chick with the mask on that she got like surgically put onto her face?
I haven't played the brand new one for PS3.
Because that one had really dark stories too. That one was really good. Cameron actually brought that over to my house, and we like beat it all in one night. It was really
Yeah.
short, but it was really good. It had
Was it for
multiplayer.
PS3?
Yeah, it was PS3.
Yeah, it's the I think it's called like new or either just Twisted Metal or New Twisted Metal. It's I think the only one on the PS3.
Yeah, but if you haven't checked that out, you would like that. The story's really good, and it's like it's all live action too. Like it's not animated. It's actual people like playing out the roles during the stories.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was
Um,
actually legit.
Game Informer had they got this video or not this video, but this screenshot from Climax Studios. And when I seen it yesterday, Game Informer was saying that it was a possible new Prince of Persia game, and they actually updated it like twice since yesterday. The image was removed from Climax, and there's no mention of a character action platformer, but they still kind of thought it could be Prince of Persia. And then Climax on the third update said that it's a prototype developed last year with Ubisoft. So the last update was Ubisoft said that there is no Prince of Persia yet. They're coming out for a new game. It's for like this prototype, and they haven't really said anything. But I'll put the screenshot on the website. It looks kind of Prince of Persia. It's like this guy standing there. He has a sleeveless white shirt and like a sword on his back, and it looks like that kind of like Persian like buildings and stuff that he's looking over. And it's like a red sky, and it looks older. I'll post it on Facebook in a second so everybody can see it. Who's
Oh yeah,
actually
it definitely looks Prince of Persia-esque. The graphics
so,
actually look really, really good.
I don't know what else Climax. Oh, Climax Studios done Silent Hill, Shattered Memories, and they did Rocket Knight.
I've
So
still been meaning to play Shattered Memories. Shattered Memories is the only Silent Hill game I haven't played, aside from Downpour. I haven't played Downpour yet. I've been meaning to. But I heard Shattered Memories was really good. So it relates to like Silent Hill 1 for the PS1, obviously. And I saw something that you put on here, a Road Rash successor.
yeah.
That sounds
So
awesome.
let's see if I can bring it up on Kickstarter. But I think it's the people who actually did Road Rash. They're trying to bring it back next gen, same gameplay. It's called Road Redemption, and they're trying to raise $160,000 to get this up and running. It has 25 days to go. They have 1,515 backers. They have $44,804 so far on it. It's going to be for Windows, Linux, and Mac. I don't think it's coming to consoles yet, but yeah, it's Road Rash pretty much exactly, just called Road Redemption. So like, shotgun, hit people with bars, old school fun Road Rash stuff.
That would be so sick online.
Um, Takes place in nightmare version of the American West. You play a recently paroled felon. After 8 years in federal prison, you must work your way back up from the bottom of your old motorcycle club. As you rise in the ranks, it becomes clear that not all your brothers are acting in the best interest of the club and may even be responsible for your incarnation. You must play a pivotal role in resulting power struggle and multiple outcomes depending on your actions. Eventually, you can lead your own faction, fight, control territory, drug distribution routes, in a war for survival and supremacy. So,
Multiplayer
like,
mode will include free-for-all and team-based missions, and we will be able to form gangs online with our own unique gang insignia.
yeah,
And
you
there
know
will
how awesome that
be a
is?
ladder. Oh, Road Rash ladder.
So the weapons in it, you have melee weapons, chains, lead pipes, baseball bats, tire irons, machetes, samurai swords, sledgehammer, axes, and brass knuckles, which is pretty crazy. Firearms, lever action, sawed-off shotgun with buckshots and slugs, pump action sawed-off shotgun with buckshot and slugs, 9mm handgun, revolver, Desert Eagle, Uzi, submachine gun, MAC-10, M16 assault rifle, AK-47 assault rifle, and then finally there's explosives in this game as well, which is going to be pretty crazy. You get Molotov cocktails, explosive grenades, and grenade launchers. So
That sounds pretty legit, if I do say so myself. I would definitely check that out, because obviously I would have to be the leader of the #1 gang on the ladder.
yeah, even just checking around gaming websites, Road Rash is one of those games that gets brought up that people want back and play it. I
Yeah.
always thought it was a pretty fun game, just hit people off their motorcycles.
The biggest issue, though, would be to get like features in it that actually keep the attention of today's market versus like the market of when Road Rash actually came out.
Yeah, but it's tough. I mean, it works in a way because still some old platformers like Super Meat Boy and like even the new Mega Mans have had some success to come out.
Yeah.
Even Mega Man X Street Fighter. But yeah, a lot of people just want games that you can jump on and go and play multiplayer, which kind of sucks.
Like
'Cause,
to be fair, if like as much as like it doesn't sound good me saying it, obviously it sounds like pretty retarded, but like if you were actually able to like level up weapons or something like that in it, I feel like that would keep people's attention on the actual game.
yeah, or like skill points, or
Yeah.
like you can upgrade your bike so like you can go faster, or your guy could take more punishment, or he has more power between his swing on a melee weapon, something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like they gotta think about what the scope is outside of just individual races, because that's what like a lot of today's market wants, is something to do other than just like that single game. And like, because eventually just doing that single game over and over again gets boring. Like the reason like say Call of Duty, for instance, is so successful is because like it's a game where you can just go in and play, but you're also leveling up like so many different things at once that like it keeps people's attention, like instead of people that are just like basically if you have ADD, you could play Call of Duty and not have a problem.
Yeah, there's a lot of like little additional things that they add online and all the game modes and stuff. But a lot of the games now, people just want like that quick, like 9 or 10 hour story, and then they want to go and play multiplayer. I mean, there's been Call of Duty games I didn't even play the story mode. Um, but I generally get tired of Call of Duty like super fast now. Like Call of Duty 4, when that came out, I was hooked. I was playing that all the time, and it was fun. And then like Modern Warfare 2, I hate it. Uh, Black Ops, I thought was good. And then like as it started going and Call of Duty started growing, I kind of started falling apart. Like I would get it and play it for maybe like a month, and I would just be bored of it, and
Yeah,
like I wouldn't touch it.
like to me, it's not even really a Call of Duty thing as much as FPS is for me. FPS is just kind of lose my interest after about a month or so. Like the only FPS that I still will pick up like every once in a while and go and play is Counter-Strike Source on the 4chan Party Van server because there's like a bajillion different sound clips you can play just by like typing something into the chat and everybody on the entire server hears it. So it's like it's really really trolly and really really fun and there's awesome maps on it.
I always sucked at Counter Strike. Like I'm just terrible at it. But I
Counter-Strike
like
has
playing.
terrible hitboxes.
I like playing Jailbreak. 'Cause I thought Jailbreak was awesome. And if I ever got like the cell with the gun, like as a terrorist, I would talk so much shit and like get the warden or who was ever running the games that day like so pissed off, and then like I would just shoot him in the face in the middle of one of their commands, and everybody hated me. And I would always fight for free days and pool parties. But like that's the fun of Jailbreak.
It's the way to go. Now, all right, so we got a little bit of time left. I would have liked to do this when there's more people, but I guess we'll just do it now. As I said in like kind of the introduction, I got invited to the Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn beta, and I got invited on Thursday, downloaded it. It was available Friday and Saturday, and between Friday and Saturday, I probably played like, I want to say like 35 hours maybe. I played between those 2 days. I didn't sleep Friday night. I just kept playing and playing and playing. And it's actually like really, really good, especially considering it's only in phase 2 of a 4-phase beta. The graphics are like ridiculously good. The only thing is they're running on DX9 right now. However, after launch, the very first thing they're doing is upgrading it to DX11. Right now, they're just working on all the gameplay stuff and like the battle system, etc. One cool thing that I thought was like one of the most awesome mechanics in an MMO I've ever heard. Oh, and by the way, I usually hate all MMOs, so I'm not really being biased for Final Fantasy right now. Maybe I am a little bit, but whatever. The summon primal boss system. Basically, there's like world bosses called primals that walk around the earth, etc. And when you kill it, the group that kills it, the guild or link shell or whatever you want to call it, the clan that kills it, gets the ability to summon said boss for any fight as of right now. After you like level it up to a certain amount, you have 2 weeks to do it. So within those 2 weeks, if you're able to level it up or whatever you have to do, gather something, do quest, you'll be able to summon it for any fight. So you can go to a raid boss and summon Ifrit, say Ifrit's confirmed in the game. You can summon Ifrit. Now when you summon him, the entire world, every single player that plays on your server will see like a change in the weather. For instance, Ifrit, I'm assuming the sky will all turn to fire. And they'll all know that your guild just summoned it, which means that it then respawns. The summon does not respawn. It is not killable again until they actually summon it. And I think that's just a really awesome thing, and I kind of want to manipulate that a little bit, but I'm not going to say how I'm going to do it because I don't want to get banned, guys. Current available classes in the beta are Lancer, Archer, and Conjurer. Lancer and Archer obviously being a melee DPS and a ranged DPS. Conjurer being kind of a mixture of ranged magic DPS, but mostly healer. It turns into a white mage later on. And there's also Gladiator, which is a tank. So those 4 classes are what are currently available, as well as like the profession jobs, which are like carpenter, leatherworker, botanist, etc. And just everything that they've done is really, really solid so far. Like even leveling up the professions, it's like not just like in WoW when you hit like synthesize or craft, and then you level up based on what you make. you actually use skills while you're crafting it, and based on what skills you use, you could gain more XP or build better quality items. And like, if the better quality item, you'll get more XP. But there's just a lot of stuff, like a lot of procs that you use while you're crafting. It's just like the most in-depth crafting system I've ever seen, and it's awesome.
Materia.
Um,
That's all I want to say.
yeah, there's materia in the game. The way it works is when you get a piece of gear, you get like a soul bind with it or something like that, a spirit link, I think it was called. After you use it enough, you get like a 100% spirit link with it, and then you could essentially disenchant it into a piece of materia, which you can then use as a socket in one of your items, and it'll give you stats, etc. What sockets usually give you. There's a cool thing in it though called forbidden materia, and from what I understand, the way it works, I'm not sure if it was in 11, but it doesn't really matter because this game is a complete rework of the MMO in general. And basically, like once you summon one, you have an option if you have like the right recipe to basically sock it again with something called a forbidden materia, and there's a chance that the socket will fail, and not only will it destroy the materia that you tried to socket it with, the expensive forbidden materia that you put all these materials in, but it'll also destroy the piece of gear that you tried to socket it with. So it's like a really high risk, high reward kind of mechanic that I just think is really awesome that they're doing things like that. That this just isn't like casual shit. Like obviously you're not gonna try to socket all of your gear with forbidden material until you have like said boss on farm and you're able to do it, because like if I was a guild leader and I gave someone like a really high end item and they tried to socket it with forbidden materia and it failed, I would kick them from the guild because they fucked up everything that we did for that person.
Yeah, you pretty much want to get your set farmed out and then like re-farm it so you can try getting the forbidden materia.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just like again something that's awesome.
Can you put more than one forbidden materia in a socket, or is every
I'm
item just one
assuming there's
socketable?
only one, because if you could just infinitely do that, that would be fucking gross.
Yeah, but the probability, like if you got three sockets, the probability of getting three like forbidden materias in there would be so ridiculous.
I know, but that item would be worth so much. Oh my god. Something else awesome, the chocobo system. Obviously, you can use a chocobo as a mount. That's expected, but you can also use it as a pet to fight with you. You can also breed chocobos. You can also put a chocobo farm on your house because there is housing, guild housing and individual housing. And also, there's chocobo battling, 1v1 chocobo battling, and in the gold saucer, which is going to be in the game confirmed, there's going to be chocobo races. So for anyone that's played Final Fantasy VII and knows what the gold saucer is, holy shit. The gold saucer is going to be in an MMO, and you could go there and you could do games and chocobo races. There's also a card game to put in the game. Now, it's not confirmed if it's going to be a triple triad or not yet.
If it is, it's the best game ever. Like, I will play this game nonstop for Triple Triad, Golden Saucer, and, like, farming Ifrit so I can get his wall and put it on my head.
Yeah, when you kill Ifrit, you could mount his head above your fireplace in your house. But apparently what the new director's been wanting to do, his name's Yoshida. I guess a lot of people have come to him with ideas for different card games put in the game, and he's kind of like denied all of them because he wants it to be perfect. He wants it to be like a card game as addictive as Triple Triad, Tetramaster, etc. But I'm hoping that they just take Triple Triad and put it in the game because that would be awesome. They released a screenshot of Magitech armor. There's actually a video of it. There's a Magitech armor mount, but it could also be that you could fight on it. Details on it aren't out yet. One suggestion that I saw on the forums I think would make the game sell an infinite amount and ultimately kill WoW, especially for any StarCraft, sorry, that's the wrong game, for any Final Fantasy fans, was a Caverns of Time-esque dungeon where you actually, in an instance, go back and help the different main characters of different Final Fantasy games. For instance, like the bombing of the Titan in Final Fantasy IV, like helping Cecil and all of them, like fend it off while they're bombing it, or like say like Laguna from Final Fantasy VIII doing like the movie or like even fighting like Sephiroth or like the weapons. Like imagine being able to go back in Final Fantasy VII and be able to fight one of like the weapons inside of
Dude,
an instance.
imagine being able to go back to Final Fantasy VII and stop Sephiroth before he kills Ares.
Oh my
Boom,
god.
boom, boom. That's me right there. I'm gonna be the White Knight. I'm gonna save Ares. And then we're gonna get married in my house underneath my Ifrit fireplace. And it's gonna be great. And we're gonna become Chocobo breeders. And we're gonna breed them and we're gonna sell them. And they're gonna be the ones that win all the races at the Golden Saucer. That's my life. That's my life.
So those are all the pluses about it right now. The one minus that I do want to bring up, to be fair, and it's actually the most talked about thing on the forums, the beta forums right now, is the battle system is kind of wonky right now. Whereas, like, if you, I'm not sure if this is due to lag or if it's supposed to be like that. I'm assuming it's lag and hoping it's lag. Even if it's not, if enough people complain, it will be fixed. Is just how you kind of get locked into a spell when you use it and interrupt it. So it's like if you're casting a spell and you want to cancel it, so you like move to the left a little bit or jump, and you want to do a heal instead, it kind of like finishes the cast before you can recast it. So hold on. So you kind of get locked into that and stuff. So I don't like that. The battle system itself is pretty good. A lot of people are complaining about it. I think honestly the only thing that really needs to be fixed with it is that, which is essentially like server lag, it feels like. But two is the global cooldown's a bit too long. It's a 2.5 second global cooldown, which count that in your head. 1,000, 2, 1,000. That's the global cooldown, which doesn't feel that bad at higher levels because you have so many different like moves to use and stuff like that. But at lower levels, it could be really boring for the first like 5 levels just because you're constantly like using like 1 or 2 spells and waiting for that global cooldown to finish. And what I'm hoping is, because they've been really, really good about listening to the community thus far and fixing any problems and adding all this really cool shit that people are suggesting, like, I hope they just listen to what people are saying and enough people complain and they just decrease the global cooldowns. That's really all I feel needs to be done to the battle system. But they are doing a great job of listening to the people. Like, I even suggested, like, I don't know if it was my suggestion that did it, but I suggested that, hey, there should be guild airships. And 2 days later, I read an interview saying that there was going to be guild airships. Like, I'm not going to take credit for that, but if there's guild airships, like, you could throw
awesome.
NEET Days some sponsorships.
The only thing is, I wanted to add on that 2.5 global cooldowns.
Yeah.
If people haven't played MMOs, 2.5 seconds when, like, because I mean we've both played WoW, 2.5 seconds is so long, like in an MMO, like that's life or death. There's so many times, especially when I was a healer, that like if I had 2.5 seconds cast it too late on a heal, that could have wiped the tank. Like, so I don't know. Maybe that whole thing is supposed to be like to make it harder as far as like that whole not canceling. Like if you cancel, you still have to wait for it. Like that would be pretty unforgiving in a fight for like if you make a wrong decision.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, and that's why I just hope that they kind of rework a little bit. Like, for anyone that's played Final Fantasy 11 or Final Fantasy 14, it's been completely reworked since then. Like, it's not the same battle system at all. It's a completely different battle system now. And yeah, from what I've seen, is really good. I'm gonna be playing the beta again this weekend, and I'd like to give more information. And like Alphonse actually had to hold me back from posting screenshots on the Facebook page, basically, because I can get banned for like sharing the screenshots that I took. But he's seen them, and the game just looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, you could even check out Square Enix. They have a not a Facebook. They might, I don't know. They have a YouTube account set up for some of the videos so you can kind of see, which is cool. This weekend for the beta, are they like releasing any other classes to be tried? Because I really want to try Marauder.
No, basically what's going to happen is this weekend's going to be the same classes, and then there's going to be a 2-week grace period, and then Phase 3 is going to start, which is when there's going to be most of the content in the game. I'm assuming all the classes except for Summoner and Arcanist probably, because those are completely new classes that are only supposed to be available at launch. And then that'll probably be about 3 weeks. then there'll be another 2-week grace period, and then Phase 4 will come out. Now, Phase 4 is the open beta that anyone can play, and that'll last another 2 to 3 weeks, and then after that, the actual game will get launched. So we can expect, if there's no delays, a release date of about July to August, I want to say, like late July to mid-August.
It's pretty cool. That whole couple breaks, even though it kind of sucks, it's gonna help them improve on stuff in the game to relaunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hopefully, I get picked to do the beta this weekend. It'd be really awesome. Anybody can join it. If you go to Square Enix's page, you can get to the Final Fantasy XIV Realm Reborn website and sign up for the beta there. You can just sign up, or you can sign up and take the survey. The survey isn't anything too bad. It's just pretty much the components in your PC. But that and like what game systems you own and how much time would you be willing to dedicate to sitting down and playing it and stuff. So it's not too bad. I did the survey, so.
Yeah, I would give you guys my character names so you could like add me and play with me this weekend for anyone that has it, but like I said, I don't want to get banned, so I'm not going to do that just yet. I mean, I don't think I've really said anything too bad, but just look for our guild once we actually start playing the game. I'm pretty sure most of us are going to be playing it, and we'll be starting a guild, and we're going to be the best in the world, obviously, because that's all we are.
Yeah, especially, with me in there, I have to make sure we're the best in the world to live up to this title, live up to this little picture that we have down here. I think I don't know which side it is, so I'm just gonna do this, whatever side it is. The best in the world photo, because this thing isn't mirrored, so I'm pretty sure it would be like right there.
Other side.
It's on the other side?
Yeah.
So it'd be there. That's where it is for me too. Sweet.
All right. Well, I believe you have to get going soon, correct?
Yeah, my brother's birthday, so I gotta be a good brother and go down there, eat some cake, play with the niece and nephew. But I'll be back for Thursday, definitely.
Yeah, and for Thursday, we also have to figure out what game we're going to play.
Are we doing a list for Thursday? Or are we supposed to do a list this week?
I don't think we're going to be able to fit in a list on Thursday, but I mean, maybe me and you, this weekend, if you and Carafano don't get into the beta, why don't you guys come over, play the beta for a bit, and then the three of us will work on a list and then kind of present it to everyone else, and they could give our opinions. Give their opinions.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so we'll do that Friday, I want to say, if you're not busy Friday.
Yeah, I think the therapist's coming over again, but that's like 10 in the morning, so.
All right, yeah, well, you wouldn't be able to come over till after 3 anyway, so. But yeah, so we'll talk about that later on at some point. Other than that, thanks everyone that tuned in today. Unfortunately, we were short-staffed a bit again today, but me and Alphonse will always be here every Tuesday, every Thursday, 5:30 p.m. You can't really like us on YouTube right now because our YouTube account got suspended. Damn it, Google. So while you can, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/NEET Days. That's facebook.com/NEETDAYS for updates on all of your anime and gaming news needs. And Alphonse, is there anything you want to say before we say goodbye?
Fuck Google. Happy birthday to my brother. And soon, I might try again to start it tomorrow. I'm thinking about streaming Mega Man Legends on the NEET Days Twitch TV, so be on the lookout. And you can tell me how bad I am at Mega Man Legends.
All right, guys. Maybe I'll even stay in Skype with you, and I'll talk with you about it as I watch the stream as well. But, guys, that's going to be it for today. We will see you Thursday at 5:30 p.m. EST. It's been